देखी है। आइए उन्हीं से जानते हैं कि इस वक्त गज़ा में क्या सूरत हाल है। बहुत शुक्रिया तस्नीम हमें ज्वाइन करने का। तस्नीम, मैं आपसे ये पूछना चाहूँगा कि आप इस वक्त जो है वो कहाँ हैं और क्या आपका घर भी इसराइली जारहियत का निशाना बना है?
Every home in Gaza is either destroyed totally or partly. Sure, my home was destroyed at the beginning of this war, unfortunately, and now I'm living in a shelter, a school that is used as a shelter, and maybe you can hear the voices and the hustle and bustle all around, but thank God.
तस्नीम, मैं जानता हूँ कि आपके लिए ये शायद बहुत मुश्किल होगा मेरे इस सवाल का जवाब देना, मगर मैं चाहूँगा कि आप इसका जवाब दें ताकि दुनिया को ये पता लगे कि आप लोगों ने क्या कुछ जो है वो बर्दाश्त किया है, क्या कुछ सहा है। मैं आपसे यही पूछना चाहता हूँ कि इन 450 रोज़ के दौरान गज़ा के लोगों ने इस जंग के दौरान क्या कुछ बर्दाश्त किया है, क्या कुछ सहा है?
Oh yes, the Gazan people's suffering is maybe the most tremendous misery in the 21st century in the world. You know, maybe 100% of the Gaza Strip is destroyed now, which means we have a real crisis of living in houses, of basically homes. We have a critical shortage in homes and shelter, so people refuse to tents, schools, even university. Every standing building in Gaza is used now as a shelter for people to live in, which is inhuman actually. Maybe you watched on TV how people have hardship in having their water to drink, water to for hygiene or a basic life needs. Also food. There's a critical shortage in the sources of food. During this war, people used to eat leaves of trees. The cans of food that is sent to Gaza as a sort of aid is are maybe not so healthy. It caused so much health problems to the Gazans. This is so miserable conditions, and I myself lived in such conditions, and I know what it means to be a Gazan during this war. It is so hard, and it needs every human in this earth to give as much support and as much help to these people to for a better future and for their voice to be heard in the world and in the countries.
अच्छा तस्नीम, ये बताएं कि तकरीबन 450 रोज़ से आप लोग इसराइली जारहियत का सामना कर रहे हैं, बमबारियां देख रहे हैं, अपने प्यारों का गम देख रहे हैं। अब जबकि जंगबंदी का एक मुआहदा हो गया है जो बज़ाहिर फ़िलहाल आर्जी है, मगर जंग के दौरान का ये वक्फा आप लोगों के लिए कितना मायने रखता है?
Still, our hearts are loaded with scenes, with memories that are so devastating. Our hearts will not heal so quickly after all what we have seen and heard. Well, I got some relief and felt a little better, but thinking of my people in the southern part of Gaza, I'm currently living in the northern Gaza, and where my home was basically, but most of our families were displaced to the southern part, as you know. So feeling that still there is 2 weeks or there's 1 week for them to come back was something that is heart-wrenching. We waited so much for this moment to come, and it came, and maybe in a few hours our beloved ones in the south will be returning to their homes. But when they return, they will find no homes. They will find their relatives and beloved ones, most of them martyrs, wounded, maybe even lost, imprisoned. So there is a great, tremendous wound in the Gazan collective body that maybe healing of it from this war and these 15 months will need more than 1 year, more than 2 years. Maybe it needs a whole time for us to really to heal from these scenes and to start a new life. But we Gazans are so determined, and we have a great faith in our hearts that we can rebuild our city, and we can rebuild our future. Actually, even if no one gave the support hand, we can do it ourselves. But we want to feel that we are not alone in this world. We are not alone in the Arab and the Muslim world. So what we need actually now, not only to sigh with relief, we need to start over again.
अच्छा, ये बताइएगा कि अब जबकि इमदादी सामान के काफ़िले भी गज़ा पहुंच रहे हैं, ऐसे में जितनी तबाही हम गज़ा में देख चुके हैं अपनी स्क्रीन्स पर, और आप जाहिर सी बात है वहाँ पे ख़ुद मौजूद हैं, आपको क्या लगता है कि गज़ा को नए सिरे से आबाद करने के लिए कितनी इमदाद और कितने वक्त की ज़रूरत होगी?
People all around me say that it will need at least 10 years for Gaza to be rebuilt. But I believe that if we Gazans stood to ourselves and didn't wait for the word that long has let us down to move and to give their support, I believe that if we started with ourselves, with our own bare hands and arms, we can rebuild it within maybe 3 to 5 years. 3 to 5 years, yes. I think rebels everywhere in Gaza is something that is so disappointing, and it makes us feel that it will need so long years and years for the city to be cleared and these roads to be cleared from these stones everywhere, and the buildings down to earth, sorted and with bulldozers and other equipment for the rebels to be cleared from the roads. And if this process was intensified and seriously worked for and supported, it may not need more than 5 years. But I think everything is possible as long as we want and we have the willing and the faith in our heart that this city will be rebuilt. Of course, it will be rebuilt very soon, inshallah.
अच्छा, मेरा आपसे सवाल ये है कि जो लोग भी इस वक्त पॉलिसी साज हैं, जो हुकूमतों के सरबराह हैं, जो आपके लिए फ़ैसले कर रहे हैं, आपका उनके लिए पैगाम क्या है कि इस जंगबंदी के मुआहदे को मुस्तकिल जंगबंदी में कैसे तब्दील किया जाए और गज़ा की आबादकारी का मरहला शुरू कैसे किया जाए?
Ceasefire may not be permanent. We were not sure, but what we are sure about that whether the war was again erupted or not, we need every true heart in this world to be supporting us and believing in our case, writing about it, raising their voices for it, for the world to know that if maybe you are living normal life, maybe everyone you love are around you, maybe your home is still really clean and beautiful and you add to it every day, but you should know that it is so selfish to live this normal life while your brothers and sisters, the children, the women, the elderly in Gaza are suffering. We call for every Muslim and Arab and every human to believe in the Gazan narrative and in the Palestinian voice, not to listen to the oppressed, not to the oppressor. The oppressor have this great, tremendous machine of media and of those who raise their voices with some lies and fabrics. But if they believed in the oppressed, they will know that maybe the low voice, the silenced voice can be truer and more worthy of being heard and believed. So I call for every human who supports Gaza to hear, to listen to the silenced voices, to read the unwritten narrative. Maybe it can be silenced, it can be censored, but you should search for the truth, even if it is hidden under the piles and piles of lies. You can find the truth. So search for it and you will find it. Support Gaza, support the oppressed, show solidarity in its forms, in all of its forms, because it is possible. And rebuilding Gaza is possible.
सही। अच्छा, ये मुझे बताएं कि इस कदर तबाही के बाद भी क्या गज़ा के लोग और आप ख़ुद भी ये सोचती हैं कि इतनी तबाही हो चुकी है, अब गज़ा में रहना मुश्किल है और हमें यहाँ से निकल जाना चाहिए? इस हवाले से क्या आपकी राय है?
Well, I know that there is a percent of maybe 2 to 3% of the Gazans in the Gaza Strip during this war had already left Gaza. It happened, in fact, because the pressure was so unbelievable. They did it during war, but this percentage is so low, because you are talking about 2 million, over 2 million Gazans who are still in their city, and between the rebels and the bodies of their and the graves and dead bodies of their beloved ones. They still live here. They didn't leave Gaza. They didn't say that life is unbearable here. They fight for their loaf of bread. They fight for their water. They fight for everything, but they do not leave Gaza. Not because they don't have the maybe the adequate money to leave, but because they believe in their city. They believe in their homeland.
गज़ा को लेके ये बात भी हो रही है कि यहाँ मौजूद लोगों को सहराए सीना में मुंतकिल कर दिया जाए, जो मिस्र का एक इलाका है, या फिर किसी और इलाके में जो है यहाँ लोगों को मुंतकिल किया जाए, क्योंकि अब तो ये बहरहाल रहने के काबिल बज़ाहिर जो है वो नहीं है ये इलाका। तो आप क्या समझती हैं कि क्या गज़ा के लोगों के लिए ये मंसूबा काबिल अमल है?
They were expecting that they will be forcefully transferred to Sinai or to other places in around the strip, the Gaza Strip, but they refused, and they raised for their voices saying that we can't leave Gaza, even if it is totally destroyed, even if there is not one stone over other stone in Gaza, we will stay because it is our homeland. And even if we were all killed and graved in this soil of Gaza, it is better than leaving it by choice. We can't do that by choice. I think this faith is there existent in every Gazan heart. Even those who were forced to leave, maybe to their relatives in other countries, they know that leaving Gaza is something that maybe feeds into the Israeli narrative that we don't want to stay here, or that staying here is so costing much more than we can bear. But I think we're doing well. We're still alive. We still live here, and we will continue living here until the last day of our lives. I think so.
मज़ीद न्यूज़ अपडेट्स और डिजिटल स्टोरीज के लिए सब्सक्राइब करें डॉन न्यूज़ पाकिस्तान।